Well, it's week 4 update. How did we do? Let's talk about it.
I can put you in a log cabin. Yeah. Boy, you were bad for me. But I don't care enough to make you my enemy. Boy, you did good leaving me then and there. Cause I'm better without what you call love, I swear. When you take a look at me, you only see what you wanna see. Somebody who can move
This week
on.
was not particularly great. We did one load. We did one load this week. We started the week. We got back onto the truck in on Monday night. Tuesday, started looking for loads, and couldn't find none. So we were doing some quality of life changes in the truck at the same time, right? So we did the speakers, right? And we also did this light right here. We ran this light, right? So that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I was like, you know what, man, this doesn't look good, right? So I started looking around for maybe to rent a trailer somewhere, right? And I found this one place out of there was a step deck flatbed in this one place, trailer place over. I can't remember the name of it, but in this trailer place over in Florida. So I called him up, and then he was like, "Okay, well, we're gonna have to run your personal credit, right?" I said, "And business credit." I said, "Okay, no problem," knowing well that it should not be a problem whatsoever, right? I was like, I should not have an issue at all. It should be coasting through this, right? It was gonna be $800 a month. That's pretty doggone good money, man. Cheap, right? $800 a month for a step deck. That's a 53. That's pretty good. The reason why I was gonna go with a step deck because based on what I see on the load board, it looks like a step deck would be a lot easier for me to be more home more often. That's what I see. I mean, yes, I could be home more often with a flatbed too, but man, it's gonna be crap rate. I would not go on, hauling these crap rate. When I mean, if I'm putting a lot of overhead, you see what I mean? You see what I'm getting at with this? That's why that's the kind of mind frame I have. I would not. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, like I said, I don't have problems with people doing it if you do what you gotta do. But me, like I said, it's just that. If I'm gonna do that, I'll do something else rather than trucking. You know what I mean? It's just it that makes a whole lot more sense to me. Okay. So the load we ran, we picked up in Jacksonville. We only had the deadhead like 10 miles to get to that load, right? It was an empty trailer going from Jacksonville to Roanoke. Hey, I said it right. Or Roanoke. Is it Roanoke or Roanoke? I think it's Roanoke. Some people have said it on the comment, you know. I think it's Roanoke. Do you enunciate the E at the end or no? Is that a silent? I don't know. So anyway, so we did that, right? That's like 570 something miles, I believe. Yeah, 570 miles, and it paid 1100. So that's like $1.92 a mile, right? And if you add the deadhead, we're about $1.90, right? So I know I said I don't haul cheap stuff, but man, listen, when that's literally free money. You talking about hauling something empty and then taking it somewhere for you know almost to $1.90 a mile, and your expenses, let's say your expenses at that rate, uh, our calculation was at 350, right? At 350 a mile to the gallon, or at 350 to the gallon. Our calculation is 94 ish, including maintenance, including everything, right? Our expenses. So we're making that's so we're making over $1 a mile or close to $1 a mile to haul something literally just empty, and when if you factor that in the long run, let's say you're hauling nothing but empty trailers the whole time, right? Your maintenance would be a lot lower because of the fact that you don't have weight on the truck. Okay, so that's why that's my reasoning for that. Those empty trailers, if I get to move empty trailers for $2 a mile all day long, I would do that all day long. See, the problem is that's not consistent. And that's why you see a lot of people choose to haul for Amazon. If actually, overall, let's say on average, overall, you haul $1.80 a mile on average with Amazon. I would choose that over hauling $2.40 a mile with my own trailer and heavy load. Yeah, let that sink in. Because like I said, it's like when when you're hauling empty or literally almost empty and nearly nothing at all, your overhead would be so much lower. Therefore, the longevity of your truck and your equipment would be so much better, compared to, let's say, you just haul nothing but heavy at 40,000 pounds over 200 miles or 200,000 miles. You're going to have more problems with that truck compared to, let's say, an Amazon hauler. You know what I mean? And I would say I take my chances on $1.80 a mile on average with Amazon compared to anybody who is, like I said, who's making $2.40 a mile. And that's probably one of the main reasons why you see a lot of Amazon haulers that are like sticking with Amazon, even though Amazon right now is like, based on what I see on the board, on the load board with Amazon, you're averaging about $1.40, $1.50. And the thing is, Amazon knows this. They do. I don't think that they don't. They know this, and they know that the fact that they provide such a, easy uh, app integration with them is so easy. You literally all you really do is drive. Drive and follow directions on an app. That easy. You know what I mean? So you don't have to really literally think. You have GPS built in the app. So you can't blame them for sticking with Amazon. I have a point why I'm talking all of this, right? Because I have a friend of mine who's with Landstar, right? I spoke to him yesterday. Oh, as a matter of fact, this is the day after Matt's, and we're still editing Matt's. It's gonna be probably Monday before I can put that out. We're gonna put this out today, but um, I got a friend of mine who I spoke to yesterday, right? I mean, I contacted him, and usually, a lot of times, people have a lot of different type of behaviors, right? Like I play a lot of poker, okay, and I study people's facial expression and actions and things like that. That's what I like about poker. I think that's what attracted me into poker. It's I mean, number one is you gamble, right? And then number two, you're dealing with numbers, statistics, you know what I mean, percentage and things like that. And number three, you're you're adding emotions, human interactions with it. I like that. I like that a lot. So anyway, this friend, right? I met him in Salt Lake City, Utah, right? He was picking up the same place I was picking up. We were doing flatbed then, and we were taking it to Michigan, And based on what I see out of like my read on him is that, he's the type that likes those burst moments. You know what I mean? Those positive moments, and it's just a burst. You know what I mean? He told me he's been in trucking for over 20 years, right? He's got a lot of things going on. I think the reason why I connected with him a lot is because he used to do contracting, and also he was in the military, right? So I think that's why we connected quite a bit, So anyway, he's with Landstar, and he's trying to convince me to come in there, right? I have no doubt whatsoever that that's what he's telling me he's making with Landstar right now is a lie. I have no doubt whatsoever that's a lie. But you got to understand, he's in a different category, okay? So he used to be with Landstar, and something happened with safety, and then they had to let him go, and then he came back to Landstar now this time around, okay? But what that does is, like, so he was with Landstar doing flatbed stuff, and now he's tier. There's tier levels into Landstar, right? As what type of what type of commodity that you can haul, right? So like he's hauling a lot of oversize, right? So it makes sense that he's making good money, the money that he's saying that he's making. Okay, but the thing is, like, if I was to go to Landstar right now, they cannot verify all this information, no matter how many miles I've had. You know what I mean? I say I got about 700,000 miles behind my belt or under my belt in since 2013. You know, but they don't care about that. They cannot verify that, so they don't care. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start at the very bottom tier. I don't mind that. I really don't. So the thing is like he's making good money over there because he's on a higher tier. He said he can get me in a higher tier in 2 years. That's good and all. I ain't got no problems with that. 2 years, yeah. I mean that's like getting an associate degree from freaking from college. You know what I mean? Easy peasy, right? It can't be that hard to get a higher tier in 2 years, right? Now, the thing is, it's like I know like if you invest time into something that the end result of that would always be greater than when you started, you know, as long as you always trying to improve yourself, trying to perfect yourself, or trying to improve on your craft, right? That's why that's what got me into thinking is like, you know what, man, I think I can do better, you know, staying this route, right? I know we made $1,100 in freaking 6 days or whatever, but I know see, the thing with trucking, you have to look at it in the long term, man. The long term, always long term. That's why you always have to haul like in a decent profit. You know what I mean? I don't know what a decent profit is for anybody else, but for me, it's gonna be over above $1 or $2 a mile. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's the bare minimum I would take. So that's why I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna give this some time, see, and see where this takes us, right? See, the thing is, like, the thing about me is like, I always think like even back then I've always wanted to move up. I wanted to move up. I wanted to move up fast. I wanted to do this soon. So military. I went. I made my sergeant in 2.5 years, and then I was E5 promotable, which means I was getting ready to be an E6 within looking on my 3.5 years. But I could not make the points because like the points were ridiculously high. So I left, and I left the military. Probably could have retired easily as an E8. You know what I mean? So anyway, I did that. I left, but my point is that I'm always looking like there's the grass is always greener on the other side. That is true, but you know it could be green on your side too. All you gotta do is water it, right? And just like that, speaking of Landstar, we got one right there. He's a Landstar. My whole life, right? My whole profession, my whole life as a professional from the time that I started doing full time work and doing this, I'm always looking for something better. I'm always look. That's that's good, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the problem is that I'm not putting enough time into this something new that I saw, and I get discouraged right away and be like, you know what, I'm gonna make a change. You know what I mean? I think that's a flawed thinking, because like a lot of times you gotta put in hours, man. There's a lot of people such as like LeBron James, right? He's a talented kid, right? He had good talent from the beginning, so he's got that burst, right? Let's say Kobe Bryant, let's say freaking Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? All of these like freaking Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? All of these kids, they got talents, right? Not everyone has that talent. I know you can shoot for that dream that they had, but not everyone is as talented as those people. You know what I mean? So that for us average people, we have to put in that time for us to be at that higher tier. And just like that, we found us an Amazon run paying 292 a mile, short run, under 200 miles, but it's good enough, and it's gonna keep us in the same market area where it seems to be pretty decent. You know what I mean? We're still in Louisville. I know I'm talking too much on this video already. It's supposed to be just an update. Yes, that's the update, right? We made under $2 a mile this week, and we only ran one load, but it was empty. It was empty. So, um, oh, what was it? Yeah, I already talked about that in the last video. I'm talking about the. It's just so frustrating. Like this, that rental company. It's like, how do you? Why do you even run my personal credit if you're not gonna use it? You know what I mean? And my friend told me they're running your personal credit, use it as a guarantor, but they're still gonna make a decision based on your business credit. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense in a way. You know what I mean? It's just I just could not think like why even run my personal credit now that my personal credit took a hit. Anyway, we're gonna end this video here. I know it's such a sad week, man. I mean, who makes that much as an as a business owner, right? But remember, you have to think of it in the long run, man. It's just like some this is what I like about the uh, trucking. It's just I think you have to put in a lot of work, and you have to be flexible, and then you have as an owner operator, that is, you have to be flexible, and you got to be able to switch in, like you got to be able to switch your game just like that. You know what I mean? It's like I mean it's just you have to be able to switch gears, I should say, in a matter of seconds, and that's why we're looking for a trailer. We're looking for a trailer. And if I was see the thing is, if I was gonna go back into flatbedding, I'm just gonna buy me a trailer straight out. But I'm trying to rent a step deck to see how the step deck world works. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I feel like I can get in and out of Vegas a lot easier with a step deck that paying a little bit decent compared to a flatbed, a straight flatbed. That's what I'm seeing so far. But anyway, that's the end of this video, man. We will see y'all on that maths video.